going on, YouTubers? Big D here. It's time to review Better Call Saul Season 1, Episode 6, titled 5-0. This is a spoiler review. If you've not seen the episode, go to amc.com/BetterCallSaul. Watch the full episode there. Should take me less than 2 minutes to recap the episode, give you my pros and cons, and the final score at the end. Thanks again for joining me. I just reviewed last week's episode, Alpine Shepherd Boy. Check that out. I was a week late, but it is done. So, I'm just gonna rush through it and just tell you what happened, and then, yeah, because I know you guys don't want to really hear the summary. You've seen the episode, most of you, so. Mike uses this, like, maxi pad thing because he has a bullet hole in the beginning. It's sort of a flashback on what's going on, and he's at a train station, and he gets that fixed. So he talks to Maddie's wife. He sees a vet in the flashback, where he goes and basically the vet can only like sew him up, and he doesn't have that many medication for human because it's a vet place. Basically in the present day he gets a lawyer because last week the episode ended with the cops being at Mike's door and them wanting to question him. So he gets a lawyer, and of course it's Jimmy McGill. So we find out in the past that his partners are this guy he used to work with and the people were killed. So he ran and it was suspicious and what went on. So basically they think he killed the two cops. Maddie, who was the guy who got killed a while back before the two cops were killed, is Mike's son. And basically Mike acts drunk at this point because he knows these two cops killed his son Maddie. So in the flashback he acts drunk, he walks, he's playing it well, very well acted, man. And then the two cops pick him up. They kind of know him already. I mean, they're not strangers. So they kind of put him to because they think he's really drunk. So they take him to an area, and basically he pulls the trigger on them. Man, he has the gun hidden inside the cop car, and because he's Mike and he knows how to do this stuff, he ends up killing the two cops that killed Maddie, and he goes to Maddie's wife. And basically he just does this whole like 6-7 minute speech, monologue, and he just says, "I broke my boy," and it's emotional, and I wasn't tearing up that much, but it's powerful at most, because honestly, I'm gonna be honest, I was a little bit bored at that time. It was just because it was like 7 minutes long, just sitting down, which that's okay. That's magic. That's acting, talking, conversating. That is magic. That is the point of acting. You're getting into the character, man. You believe it. But I've seen it before. I watched like 40 TV shows, so I know. I can't tear up for every single thing I watch, but definitely Mike's such an awesome character, even from Breaking Bad. So also at the end, and I quote, "Can you live with it?" Basically. So that was Better Call Saul, man. 5-0. Let's go to the pros and cons. First off, the pros. This is an intense episode. Last week's episode was more funny, comedic, yet serious, yet more comedic. This episode, full on intense. There's a little comedy in there, maybe under 10% of comedy. This is more of an intense, serious issue. The camera angles again were great. Always good camera angles. The action in here. It's not an action-packed episode, but for what we had of the guns and Mike, very great. Mike is such a great character and well written, and he's great in Breaking Bad. He's even better in Better Call Saul. The writing for the show and just the logical and the way that it worked out very well blew my mind. Also, himself acting drunk is one of the best things ever. Definitely love this episode for that. And Saul only came out for a little bit for a show called Better Call Saul. He only came out maybe under 10 minutes of screen time, basically, for this episode. So Saul was good in this episode also. Now the only cons really is the beginning, like the first 15-20 minutes. The first 15 minutes are really slow. It's not, a part of it is boring, but it's just slow. It takes time to build up, and around 30-40 minutes in, it really picks up the pace. And part of it's confusing. You have to like pay attention to each single sentence, because it does get confusing after a while. So overall, I'm going to give this Better Call Saul episode a solid B. It is a good episode. It's not great, but for Mike, he does shine, and he's on the spotlight, and I do enjoy that. But I want to go back to Saul. I honestly do. But for one episode with Mike in it, like full-on Mike, that was a good episode, man. And definitely, for sure, it is the highlight of the season. One of the highlights of the season, for sure. And just the way he took down the 2 cops. Brutal. That was dirty, man. 1.5 thumbs up, baby. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Subscribe for more Better Call Saul. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this episode. And if you love Mike, then yeah, the like button. Let the spot be with you always. And remember, Better Call Saul.